All right, I think we're live. Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Trading Bitcoin with your host Tone Vays, coming to you once again after market closes. The market will not be open tomorrow, and therefore this is a nice long weekend. And today was the equivalent of a Friday close in the traditional markets. All right, let me pull out your live chat, and we will go to the charts. There we go. All right. Hey guys, thank you for coming in. How many? We're kicking off the show with about 100 live viewers, not bad. And hopefully they will trickle in as we go. What am I sharing? I've been keeping an eye on the general hyperwave chart of Bitcoin. It's a very strange hyperwave. Speaking of hyperwave, holding the book. Probably should have shown it before I went to screen share, but it's right there. And I am bullish on Bitcoin here. Bitcoin has been correlated with the stock market, so that makes it a little bit trickier than normal. However, I see that huge downward trend line as being formidable resistance that I will be very hesitant in being bullish of breaking on this go. And therefore, I am only bullish up until this resistance line, but I will only be bearish down to the green support line. And I believe Bitcoin will get stuck in this triangle for the rest of the year. That's the big picture. Let's move down into the smaller picture. This is the weekly scale. I can pretty much delete this yellow line because this was based on the possibility of reaching a 9 on the sequential to the downside. This arrow is just starting to get in the way. I will delete this horrible yellow arrow that I remember when I drew it, I said, hey, this is not my expectation, but that's why it was in yellow, saying this would be my perfect buy zone, and I will leave that there. The Tone Vays perfect buy zone. We may or may not get to that perfect buy zone, and I would love to see it on a weekly 9 or vicinity. Can this still happen later in the year? The answer is yes, it can. If it does happen later in the year, everyone is going to be scared shitless because everyone will think that Bitcoin is going to die. But I will still see this as my perfect buying opportunity. Okay, the weekly is about to flip over to a green one. Now, today is still only Thursday. We have the weekend. However, for the next 3 days, Bitcoin cannot be correlated with the stock market. And Bitcoin has been very correlated with the stock market. If I dropped the 12-hour chart, guys, it was just getting useless and annoying. This morning, let's go to the 1-hour chart. This morning, while the unemployment claim filings were absolutely horrible at 8:30 in the morning, Bitcoin pumped along with the stock market. Here's the stock market at market half an hour before market open. It was looking like it was going to be a bad day, and then this monstrosity happens. That's because the Fed apparently decided to print another $2.3 trillion and start buying up stuff with it, which I haven't really read all that deeply about, but it doesn't matter. They're printing money, and that money itself isn't what's pumping the market. Keep that in mind. The printed money hasn't actually been printed yet, but the market is pumping because the market is still a speculative asset, and people are buying into the stock market based on the fact that that money that the Fed has printed is going to go somewhere. No one, even if they don't know where, they know it's going to go somewhere. These lines you see, by the way, is me taking on a short trade right here off of the daily 9. I'm not usually a day trader, but in this case, anyway, I'm not going to give you the long story, but I saw this 9 at 10 a.m. I took the short trade. I took the short day trade at 10 a.m. It didn't work out like I wanted, unfortunately. I was looking to take my profit at the purple line. it got to it eventually, but it got to it. I was not going to let this trade lose me money. So after this trade started making me pretty damn good money, because the market moves quite a bit these days, but it did not give me a good profit. I had my initial stop loss was above the high price. I lowered my stop loss to somewhere around here, and my trade got exited on the stop loss about 30 minutes later. It was very disappointing, but it did not work out, but it still made a little bit of a profit, which is how you protect your principal. I did not take on any other trades during the day. I did post this in my little Telegram group, which I'm probably not going to be doing going forward. The trade did not work out, but the 9 still topped the market at 10 a.m. The 9 bottomed the market at 3 p.m. I was not going to take on any trades at 3 p.m. going into a 3-day holiday weekend. That's just silly. But that worked out. I don't normally trade the aggressives, but this is a 10-minute chart, by the way, guys, and I really like the 10-minute chart. Here's the 1-hour chart of the stock market, and the 1-hour chart has also been reacting fairly well with the sequential. So here's a 9 top that took place yesterday, right at market open. There was a 9 bottom after market in off market hours, so not that relevant. There was a 9 here that did not really work out. It did flatten out the market for the rest of the afternoon. The 9 came right at 2 p.m. and for the rest of the day, it just got flattened out. Not enough to make a good trade on, and if there was a trade off of this 9, it was probably a losing trade. And we top on a sequential 13 coming from that 9 that took place yesterday. But I'm not sure. I'm not a big fan of using sequential through off-market hours, and not really part of my trading strategy. I prefer the daily. If I'm going to use sequential, I use sequential on the daily the most. And obviously, the daily and the S&P did not catch the 9 perfectly. The daily on the Dow Jones, however, was a little bit better. It still didn't catch the 9 perfectly, but there was a 13 and 13 here. The 9 was a perfect 9 right here, 1 to 4 candle correction into the countdown phase. But the countdown phase did not complete. And even though it did not complete, the countdown phase should still be intact. I know I deleted a lot of that stuff, so it's not displaying. And we're going to talk about the stock market in a second, but let's go back to Bitcoin. We're at 500 viewers. Before we go back to Bitcoin, I am going to be teaching another options course. There seems to be interest. It'll probably be a 3-day course next time. 2 days is just not enough. There's just so much information when it comes to options. I'll probably do it over 3 days. One of those days being a weekday, so we can, see some actual live action as well. So I'm probably gonna put that together probably in about a month, probably early June. I'll do it. Still most likely still be in quarantine. And if you want to support, please use the affiliate page. I know I've been pimping the Embly cards, which are absolutely awesome. And no need to use it now while in quarantine, but otherwise. And if you're going to trade, use that. The Financial Summit, still on schedule, first week of November. Understanding Bitcoin, first week of October. All right, let's go back to the Bitcoin chart, the Bitcoin daily chart. Tops on a 9. And now we're waiting to see which way Bitcoin is going to go. Oh, wait, this whole discussion started about Bitcoin being correlated with the S&P 500. It pumped this morning with the S&P 500, and then it kind of slowed down. The S&P made a high around 10 a.m. Bitcoin made a high around 10 a.m. Bitcoin pulled back, and we're still kind of stuck. Now that the S&P 500 is not going to be trading, people are asking me if I'm playing in that charity poker tournament. I am, which is why this video is going to end around 7:30, and I will go ahead and play in that tournament. Someone is saying if it's quarantine till June, there'll be a lower low. Who the hell knows at this point, right? I mean, if they're going to print $1 trillion every week, there may not be a low. We may have a new like at this pace, we may have a new all-time high by the end of next week, right? So we have to take a look at the TA picture and see what it says, because fundamentally, I was short all week, waiting for the market to turn down, and it didn't happen. So obviously, I had a losing week this week in the market because I was looking for prices to correct, which did not happen, right? So this is our daily chart. I mean, I expected us to fall below this red line on Monday, and here's what happened on Monday. Tuesday made me a bear because of this candle, and look what happened Wednesday and Thursday. So I did not have a very good week this week. I had a good first 2 weeks of my trading. This week was not that good in my personal trading, and I have absolutely no expectation for next week. Zero. I have absolutely no advice right now to anyone. I have no opinion whatsoever. I don't know if the market is gonna not open on Monday because it's either went up 20% over the weekend and they can't open the market because it hit multiple limit ups, or it hit multiple limit downs and is going to open 1,000 points down. I have absolutely no clue. I have deleveraged pretty much all my my account. My account is almost completely in cash, other than a GBTC Bitcoin position, because I have absolutely no inkling of opinion where this market is going to open on Monday. I will wait. I did say last week that this past Monday open was going to be the most important open of the year, and it looks like it was. So at this point, I don't even want to speculate if we're going to get to this next area of the moving average. But right now, I will just simply trust Consensio. I'm going to scale back completely. I'm going to stay away from short-term or even swing trading. I will wait for the volatility to completely go away. If that means I have to wait 3 to 4 months, that's fine. I'll still, look for some low-hanging fruit. Like if I do see a cheap stock on a 9, I'll probably pick it up because there's only so much further it can fall. And say a $2 or a $3 strike option is going to cost me very, very little. And if the market pumps based on money printing, those stocks will do well. I already have several of those stocks that I'm currently holding. Tilray is one of them. Being able to pick this up on the cheap was great. Silver was another one. If I go over to silver, I am long silver as of the 9. There's no reason to get out of silver. I did not get into gold on the 9. This 9, I kind of missed it because I was already in silver. And there's others like Apache, APA. Oh, I can't even find it now. That was another awesome buying opportunity right here off a weekly 9. And I took that one as well. You'll see the weekly 9 pop up. So I was trying to time the cruise line. See the weekly 9 right here. That's where I picked it up. So if I find these, low-hanging fruit opportunities, I was considering it's a sequential 13 right here. I don't know. I'm a little hesitant to buy more airlines because I'm already in United. I'm already in the United trade. And I don't really want to pick up more airlines. And so I will kind of wait. GameStop was one, but I missed it. I was waiting for the 9, so I missed GameStop. I'm not going to go and chase it. There was another. There were others. Canaan, I missed that one as well. Ooh, I may get another shot at Canaan. Interesting. I may wait till after the halving. Maybe it'll pull back some more. But I thought I missed Canaan, but it looks like it's coming back. So maybe next week we'll see how that goes. So there are some low-hanging fruit that I'm considering, but I'm not going to make any serious trades because with what happened this week, I'm gonna take a step back and I'm gonna wait for the market to give me something useful. Someone is saying these low-hanging fruit will be poison. They've already worked out really nicely. I've already taken some profit from them. So it's really hard to say that they're going to be poison because there's only so much further this stock can fall. I'm also in another cannabis stock. Where is it? ACB. This one hasn't gone up much. It's still, profitable, but hasn't gone up much. I don't remember when I picked it up. I missed the 9, so I picked it up later. I picked it up around here, but it wasn't a monthly 9 and it wasn't a daily 9. It wasn't on a weekly 9, unfortunately. Would have been a perfect combination of them all. And yeah, but I picked it up over here, so it's still up. And there's really not much you can lose. And I go out pretty far with options. They're not expensive on these cheapies. Thoughts on the Bitcoin fund on TSX? Absolutely no thoughts on the Bitcoin fund on TSX. I don't know what the Bitcoin fund on TSX is. So I can't provide you any thoughts on something I have not even Googled. So no, I have no idea. Well, yeah, GoPro is another one. GoPro is another one I was able to pick up on the cheap. I don't remember at what point. I think I missed the 9, but I picked it up right after. I think it was around here. I think it was right after I got back to the US. I was upset I missed the 9, but this right here at around 235 gave me an opportunity. And they didn't go up much, but again, it's they're all profitable for me. But we'll see if that lasts. I mean, certainly they can all go down. And I've already set break-even stop losses. Like if you time your trade correctly and you can go to a break-even stop loss fairly quickly, there's really not that much you can lose. But I don't want to speculate with expensive stocks because I think if the market really turns down, those are the ones that are going to take the bigger hit. And while the Fed is deciding how much money to print, I don't really want to guess. I thought they were done printing. That's why I was short this week. Clearly, I was wrong. Yeah, I can glance at HA. What's HA? I have no idea what this is. I mean, it looks exactly like every other chart that I just put up. They all look the same. All the charts look the same. There's really no point at looking at one stock over the other. Every chart looks almost identical. Like I don't see any difference between this and Tilray. So like I don't see any difference in their charts, right? If you gave me these charts and you took away the name, I would say it's the same stock. Like they all look the same. There's no comment. I'm in Tilray. I got into Tilray pretty good. I have no reason to kind of get out of Tilray. None of this is trading advice, by the way. I'm just telling you what I'm holding, and I don't really like. I know what these companies do, but I know nothing about these companies. Like I don't care. It's just charts to me. Do you consider Bitcoin has a chance to go below 2,500 within a year? Of course, it has a chance, but I don't think it's very likely. Inverse ETFs are fine. Just I hate leverage ETFs. All right, let's take a look at gold. So gold had a beautiful pump today, and I've been bullish gold. I tweeted out, the head and shoulders and the target. I think gold is very likely to challenge the all-time high. I don't see why it won't. Let's go to the weekly chart. There's nothing stopping it. There's nothing stopping it. I don't see why it won't. Now, we do have to be careful. Oh, it's only a weekly one. So I'm not even that cautious. It's a weekly one. It's a daily 6. So sometime next week, we'll get a daily 9. We can pull back. We can pull back to 1700. But I think that gold could break out. And if gold breaks out, if gold gets anywhere near 2000, I think it's going to go to 3000. But now I will be a seller at gold at around somewhere between 3 and 5,000. I'm going to be selling gold because I don't think gold's going to go much higher than that. I will be happy to sell my gold at that price. Any thoughts on Exxon? It's gonna be. I mean, look. Like I said, I took Apache because it was way cheaper. Normally, I don't do that. Normally, I don't care for cheap stocks. Normally, I like to trade Amazon and Netflix and Teslas. That's what I normally trade. But this is not a normal market. This market is too volatile. And in this market, I prefer the cheap sub $10 stocks. Normally, I don't. Normally, I couldn't care less for cheap stocks. Normally, I like stocks, between $20 and 1,000. That's normally. But in this environment, I took the Apache trade, and I took it pretty perfectly, actually. I think I got it like right here at the lows, and it's already more than doubled. No, you guys got to find the video where I said I was taking the trade. And it's more than doubled. Even at the close today after a bit of a down after the open. So if I look at ExxonMobil, ExxonMobil didn't double. So the Apache trade was the much better trade. Both in the oil industry. And this one doubled from here. This one doubled from like April 1st. On April 1st, ExxonMobil, was 36 and now it's 43. So it barely, it went up 27%. So I'm happy I picked the right oil play in that case. Apache over ExxonMobil. I mean, it went straight up since the low, and it's about to run into a moving average. And there's really no comment, right? Like I'm saying, I don't know if the market's going to open 1,000 points down or 1,000 points up tomorrow, Monday. I have absolutely no idea. None. I am not positioned up or down. I still have my spreads. I have half of my portfolio is in stocks that I want to go up. And the other half of my portfolio are in stocks that I want to either stay the same or go down. So I am completely neutral going in, and the majority of my portfolio is in cash. So it's not even allocated to anything. I wanted to cash. I didn't want to be skewed up or down going into Monday because I have no idea. None. No preference whatsoever. All right, I got about 5 more minutes. Once again, guys, hey, if you want to support this podcast, please use the affiliate page. Hey, I was thinking, I'm actually thinking of utilizing the YouTube subscription thing, and I might charge like $20 a month for proprietary YouTube videos. Maybe I'll do it as often as once a week, and that's where I will do Q&A. And videos like this before market open or after market open will not have any Q&A in it. Only those videos that are like $20 a month subscription. Nothing, just reasonable, nothing unreasonable. And this way we will keep the questions to a higher quality, because when people pay, even if it's $5 per video, their questions tend to be a lot better and not random. OXY. No idea what that is. They're all probably going to look the same. It's another petroleum play. Right. Like I wouldn't buy here. Like it's too late. Look, you're on a 6 sequential. You're probably going to get to a 9. If you pick this thing up down here somewhere, and there was a weekly 9 starting right here. So as of this candle, there was a weekly 9, and you were on a daily 6. This had potential to be picked up. This one would have made it a little bit trickier to pick up, but this is where I picked up Apache. That was the time to pick it up. Right now, I wouldn't chase it. Not really interesting to me right now. I don't know. I don't know where it's going to go on Monday. It would be nice to see it close the gap. Let's look at the oil price itself. Oil price went down. Ooh, I may still get a chance to get get into the oil trade. We may still get a weekly 9 on oil. That would be very interesting to me. And this should be a red 1. Oh, it's a red 2. This is very interesting to me because we can get a daily 9 in about 2 weeks on oil. And that would mean in 2 weeks, it would be a weekly 7. Interesting. Very interesting. Yeah, if oil falls to that $17, $18 area, that could potentially be of interest to me. Did I close my Tilray position? No, I did not. I took some profit, but I did not close it. I am still long Tilray. Because I don't know if the market's going to go up or down. Like I want to profit from either side, right? And I'm in options, right? So if the market crashes big time, the short the put options that I have on some stocks will do very, very well. And if the market rises up huge, the call options I have on some stocks are going to do very well. Tilray is one of those call options that is fully in the money now. Oh, I'm on my code, so don't worry. This thing is like 1,000 lines long, so this is not going to really help you. Yeah. So my Tilray options are way in the money. Like my delta is like 0.85 or 0.9, like something ridiculous. So it's as if I'm holding the stock. But I did cut back. I took some profit. All right, guys, I'm ready to call it a day. I don't really know what else to say. Bitcoin is consolidating off the 9. I'm still looking for my 1 to 4 candle correction. It's possible it's already ended, but I don't think so. I think Bitcoin can still pull back. I think this moving average is going to just drag it down a little bit. And then we got to see what happens. If the stock market crashes next week, Bitcoin can also fall. I'm going to be pretty bullish. I'm ready to buy the dip. I didn't add any more Bitcoin in my retirement fund today. I'm still a little skeptical. I'm going to wait for this 9 to play out. Now, a green 2 above a green 1 above a 9 makes me bullish Bitcoin on a daily chart. And that's going to happen tomorrow during market close. So I wouldn't be able to add to my Bitcoin exposure in my retirement fund. So I have to wait till Monday and we'll see what happens. I mean, I don't want to risk it. I think Bitcoin can still pull back. What has happened for hyperinflation? Hyperinflation is not coming anytime soon. The dollar will probably rise. The Fed, let's put it this way, unless the Federal Reserve and the Treasury are going to print $25 trillion, there's not going to be any inflation. My over-under for inflation is about 10 trillion, and my over-under for hyperinflation is about 25 to 50 trillion dollars for them to print. It's very, very difficult. Remember, the Federal Reserve is not printing for Americans. The Federal Reserve is printing for 7 billion people because everyone around the planet wants US dollars. So they need to print enough money for the entire planet. Like the way Venezuela is printing money and the people in Venezuela hate the Venezuelan currency, that's how the Fed has to start printing US dollars for the people around the world. So in order for the US to hit hyperinflation, people in Venezuela have to hate the US dollar more than they hate the Venezuelan bolivar. Okay, that's the only way it's happening. All right, that's the only way hyperinflation is going to happen. And this is the concept that a lot of people just don't understand. Right? We can look at the Russian ruble. as another example. So US versus, or we can look at the Turkish lira, right? So here's the Turkish currency. So the Turkish currency has what went from, so this is the daily chart. Let's go to the weekly chart. So the Turkish currency, I don't want to go to 2013. Let's go to 2017. Okay. So since the summer of 2016, the Turkish currency has lost more than double its value against the US dollar. So in order for the US dollar to even, have a whisk of breathing towards hyperinflation, people in Turkey have to prefer the Turkish currency. Or people around the world would have to prefer the Turkish currency over the US dollar, right? Like, show me in the chart where people are preferring the Turkish currency over the US dollar, right? We can go to the Russian ruble. This is Indonesia. All right, we can go to Indonesian currency, right? When are Indonesians gonna prefer their own local currency over storing in the US dollar? Okay. The hotel where we host the financial summit does not price their no, wait, I think they do price in their local currency, or they might even price it in US dollars. Like there's places that even price things in US dollars. Okay. I just can't find the Russian ruble. Canadians, that's not even that far from the US, right? What are Canadian? Oh, it tops on a 9. I like how all of this shit is topping on a 9. One of the Canadians are going to prefer the US dollar over the Canadian currency, right? Like, sorry, they have to prefer their own currency, or the world would have to prefer the Canadian dollar over the US dollar. Like, hyperinflation is insane. It's completely ridiculous. It's not happening to the US dollar. It's happening everywhere else. Brazil, another example. Boom, there it is. There's Brazil. Okay, tell me, how is the US dollar going to go into hyperinflation when the Brazilian currency, since 2014, has lost more than double, half of its value? Okay, like, when are people in Brazil going to prefer their currency over the US dollar? It's just not happening. It's not going to happen. Not going to happen. There's the Russian ruble. Look at this. This is just in the last few months. This is in 2020, right? Since the beginning of 2020, Russian ruble, how much did it lose? It's devalued by 35%. And then there's people tweeting at me saying that Russia and China are going to get together and they're going to create the new world reserve currency. Yeah, good luck with that. Yeah, good luck. Good luck. Never going to happen. Never going to happen. I don't care what they back it by. I don't care if they back it by a new rare earth metal better than gold. It's irrelevant, right? It's not the backing. It's not the hard metal that backs your dollars. It's the confidence of the government providing that transferable paper money or digital money. Oh, AMC theaters. They probably took a hit. No one is even making movies these days. Ooh. Yeah, the thing is, like, I don't see how I can buy the AMC stock in a digital age. Like, ooh. It's tempting, though. It's tempting. The 9's coming. We're on a weekly 7. And I'm probably going to forget about this stock, but it's intriguing. I like how low it is. It's in my list of cheapies. I guess I can add it. But again, it doesn't matter if it's backed by Bitcoin. Here's the thing, right? Let's say Russia, and I'm Russian. Let's say Russia announces that the new Russian ruble is going to be backed by Bitcoin. Why would you trust? Like, if you send your Russian rubles to Russia, are you going to trust them to send you the Bitcoin? I wouldn't. Tone, if you're not concerned with inflation in US dollar, then why do you care about Bitcoin? Because Bitcoin has three properties that I care about. And the fact that there will only be 21 million Bitcoin is not the most important property I care about. Okay. There are two properties that that are way more important to me than Bitcoin's finite supply. That is, Bitcoin is the first unconfiscatable asset humans have ever owned. If you don't think that's important to you, then that's fine, but it's important to me. That's the property that got me into Bitcoin to begin with. The fact that it's unconfiscatable. It's also censorship-resistant value transfer. The Greek banking crisis, the Cyprus banking crisis, the potential right now of banks running out of cash, right? You're focusing on the quantity of money property, which to me is not the most important property. If Satoshi designed Bitcoin with infinite inflation like the US dollar, I would still like it because it still has unconfiscatability and it still has censorship resistance. That has nothing to do with the economics and the monetary property of its inflation model. So yes, it's also great that Bitcoin has a finite quantity, but that is not what got me into Bitcoin. Okay, what got me into Bitcoin is unconfiscatability and censorship resistance, which would completely eliminate if if there was no if the damn thing went to big blocks, so that's why that was important to me. USD KRW, it'll be the last thing I look at, and then I'm going to call it a day. Because I don't think I've ever looked at that. Oh no, it's the Korean won. Yeah. So it's hanging in there. Look, everything topped on a 9. Jesus. Tops on a 9 daily. How are you looking weekly? Yeah, see, it's not good. It's not good. The Korean won. Oh, it's not an all-time low. Oh, look at that. I mean, you guys are doing better than in 97. That was the Asian crisis. And in 2009, you weren't doing so good in the financial crisis. And you're starting to not do very good again. It's not a strengthening currency. Look, guys, everything is devaluing against the US dollar. Everyone wants dollars. Everyone wants dollars. Here's the US dollar. This is all you need to know. All you need to know. Here's the US dollar chart. And I think the US dollar is going to break out. I think it's going to break the 10-year high. I think the US dollar is going to challenge the 2001 high, and it will probably break it. I am very bullish the US dollar. I mean, like I said, the US government would have to print tens of trillions of dollars for me to change my mind. I just don't see how the world is not going to demand more dollars and devalue their own currencies more. I've been saying this for years, since my first videos. I started doing videos in 2014 or something, 2014, 2015, right here. The US dollar was 80, and I was bullish the US dollar then. And now we've gone up 25% since I started doing videos talking about the strength of the US dollar and making fun of the hyperinflationists and the gloom and doomers. All right, that's it. I gotta go. I'm gonna go play some poker, and I will. Hey guys, subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet. Please subscribe. Trying to get to 100,000 YouTube followers. I already got to 200,000 Twitter followers. Thank you so much for that. And now I'm trying to get to the 100,000 YouTube followers. All right, guys. Thank you for watching, and see you all. Tomorrow market's closed, but I'll do a video tomorrow. I don't have to do it at that time. I can do it anytime, but we'll see. No idea when. Maybe I'll stick to the current schedule. People seem to be used to it now. All right. Talk to you all later.